Hello dear students, this is Dr. Cherian Thomas, Faculty, Department of Commerce PG, Kristu Jayanti College, Autonomous, Bengaluru. In this session, we will be discussing about wills, W-I-L-L-S, wills. So what is wills? Before I go into that, I want to draw your attention to a recent event which happened. We were saddened to know the death of Mr. Ratan Tata. Now, when he died, he had a mentee named Shantanam Naidu, and he also had a pet dog called as Goa. Now, after his death, he basically showered his material blessings to both the dog as well as Shantanam Naidu. Both of them got some material benefit. I'm not talking in negative terms, but in a positive term. For all the love that they gave to Ratan Tata, he has showered back something back to these two buddies on his later stage of life. With regarding to Shantanam Naidu, what we heard was he was given an education endowment fund where the sponsorship will be carried out by the trust which Ratan Tata owns. So even after his death, his education is not stalled. So in this case, here comes the importance of wills. So what is a will? Section 2, subsection H of Indian Succession Act 1925 says that a will is a legal declaration of the intention of a person with respect to his property, which he desires to take effect after his death. I want you to focus on few terms. It is a legal declaration. That means it has got a legal validity. Court respects it. Second thing, it talks about the intention of the person. Intention about what? Intention about the material wealth, or intention about the property that belongs to that person. So after death, what happens to the property is the answer to that lies inside a will. Now there are few terms that are connected with wills. One or most of these terms are related with either a process or with a party. So whenever you hear the word called as testator, right, we are talking about the person who wrote the will, right? So he or she is the person who wrote the will. So you might have a doubt, sir, the wills are written by advocates or lawyers. Are you talking about them? No. I'm talking about the person who wants to donate the property. That person is basically called as a testator. And what about the person who receives the property? He or she is basically called as the beneficiary. Now, if there is a will, we call the person who makes the will as testator. If there is no will, we call the same person as intestate, I-N-T-E-S-T-A-T-E. Notice the difference. So you die with a will, you are called a testator. You die without a will, you will be called intestate, right? So these are two parties. Now there is also one term called as codicil, C-O-D-I-C-I-L. Codicil is nothing but an explanation to the will which is written. So sometimes what happens, wills can become ambiguous. Wills cannot be understood in legal terms. So codicil is basically there to make things more simpler. Then comes the executor. The executor might be a lawyer. The executor might be a person who is appointed by the court, and they basically execute the will. That means they might divide the property or they might assign the property, and this is their function. So I hope you got an understanding of what is a will, who are the parties involved in it, and what are the extra documents that we have in a will. Now let me focus on the types of will. There are many wills, many types of wills. First two wills have got a connection. So let me ask you a question. Are you a soldier or a retired army personnel? So based on that also we have wills. If you are a soldier, we call that as privileged will, because death is certain in a war. They make them write the wills before they go to the war. So it is called as privileged will. Unprivileged will talks about normal or common people like us. So most of the cases, commonly we see that as we age, we write wills, or else we do not. It's not because death is not certain for us, it's because then we think or realize of succession planning of whom to give the property. So there is privileged will which is executed by soldiers, unprivileged will which is basically executed by people who are not in the army or military service. Next, we have got conditional or contingent wills. What is it? 99% of the wills are based on death. So death must occur for a will to come into being. In conditional or contingent will, instead of death, you can add a situation. So let's say, for example, I would say that in 2047, if India becomes developed country, my so and so portion of the property goes to my son. If it does not, then it does not go to my son. So in that case, what I am meaning to say is that I have kept a situation in place, an if condition in place, saying that some event has to happen for this will to become alive. Next, we have got joint wills and mutual wills. What is joint wills and mutual wills? Both are basically executed by husband and wife. So it's called as joint will or mutual will. In contradiction to that, we also have got something called as concurrent wills. So let's say joint wills and mutual wills are executed by the husband and wife. Even concurrent is also executed by husband and wife. In joint and mutual, you are able to change anything inside the will. But in concurrent will, you are unable to change anything in the will. So let's say, for example, either the husband dies or either the wife dies. So in that case, in concurrent wills, you cannot change it, right? So that is called as concurrent will. But in joint or mutual wills, you can basically change it whenever you want, right? And then we have something called as duplicate wills. Duplicate will is nothing but the original copy is there, but another duplicate is basically made, right? So that we will have a copy of that. It's not the original copy, but a duplicate of that. And then we have got sham wills, scam, sham, all these things, all these words are related with a word called as false. These are false wills. So sometimes when prestigious, famous people die, people come with these sham wills, right? Or rich people die, all the inheritors want to inherit the property, they come with sham wills. These are fake wills which are created, right? So that's called as sham, S-H-A-M, sham wills. And the last one is holograph wills. Holograph wills are an answer to the fake wills. So whenever fake wills, right, get circulated, we have a doubt whether the person himself wrote it or somebody else have wrote it. So in that case, holograph wills are nothing but handwritten wills, right? So if you wanted to execute a will, you yourself will write it with your hand in your own handwriting. So that is called as holograph wills. So I hope this session was helpful. We covered many topics like what is a will, who are the parties in a will, what are the documents in a will, and what are the types of wills. So until we meet again, this is me, Cherian, signing off. Thank you.